Did you know there's a manual for the prepared citizen? Well, there's several of them, and I'm going to show you the newest one that's coming out, so stick around. So I just received a new survival guide that I wanted to share with you guys, and I don't do a lot of book reviews on the channel just because they don't translate very well on YouTube. They're kind of hard to show, but I really felt that this particular book is something that I wanted to highlight and show you guys because it really kind of sums up a lot of things that I've been trying to do on my new YouTube channel in a much more eloquent and succinct way. And it's in a manual, it's in a book. And there's what's great about it is there's several books that go with this series. This is the latest one. This is the Citizen Manual 9, Adverse Conditions and Environments. And this is from a group called the Professional Citizen Project. They have a website. They've done a couple other manuals before this one, but this is the newest one. And the reason I'm showing this one is because it is written by a friend of mine, Jay Palladeri, and I've known Jay for a little over a year now, and we chat often on the internet through messaging. And he is a gentleman that many of you already probably know as the Modern Minuteman. He has a YouTube channel. He has become a fantastic ambassador for the modern Minuteman movement and for the prepared citizen. And, you know, I've done prepared citizen videos in the past on my channel. He does that full-time on his channel. He is always talking about how you can be a better prepared citizen and become that modern Minuteman so that when something happens, when the crisis happens, when the peanut butter hits the fan, and we don't know what that's going to look like, that at least you are prepared to take care of yourself and your family. It's prepping, but it has a more tactical mindset. It is more forward thinking. It is more preparedness, not reactionary. And Jay has taken all of his knowledge, his training, and he does quite a bit, and that's what makes him different than a lot of other people. And he's working with the Professional Citizen Project, and they have put out this book that Jay has written. And what's fantastic about it is, from my reading, that it is a very clear, concise guide to get people used to being and working in the outdoors. You're a prepper, and let's say you've got your house stocked, you've got all the preps, you've got your food reserves, your generator, backup power plans, guns, ammo, all those things you need to take care of your family, but you are not an outdoors person. You have not ventured outside to do a lot of stuff. You're not used to camping, you're not used to hiking, you don't hunt. These are things that you don't do on a regular basis. Those kind of things can be very daunting and kind of scary for new people to that experience. I try on my channel to get people used to that stuff and expose them to it and give my advice on how to go about putting together gear and kit, getting outside, and trying different activities. And what Jay has done with his book, that he has clearly laid out a plan. It is probably one of the most basic, easy to follow guides that I've read in a long time. There is a clear starting point of these are the subjects we're going to cover, and then he addresses each of those. And along the way, he is giving his little nuggets of wisdom and advice. And then he's also giving you clear guides on equipment and gear and what you need at the bare minimum, and then what kind of training you should be doing. And by the time you're done with the guide, with the book, you should have a very good understanding of how to operate and sustain yourself in a wilderness environment with your backpack and your gear, and feel at least comfortable doing it. It's a kind of an unusual guide because it's not a clear survival guide. like so many others are. It is not a bushcraft guide. It is not a military field manual. Big problem with military field manuals are that they are written for soldiers and airmen and their particular needs, and of course they are, supported groups. They have never-ending supplies and funds. Often these military guides are written for pilots who are going down behind enemy lines. They're for, actions of group movements. These are things that, you and I, the average citizen, may never do and probably won't. Those are just not scenarios we're going to be involved in. And for a lot of us who have not gone through the military, don't have any kind of military background, have never trained with that kind of stuff, having some kind of guide that is more written for us, I think, is really beneficial. And if you're looking for something that to get you started, this Professional Citizen Project is a really great resource. Real quickly, I just wanted to read through the chapter guide on this. So, of course, we have contents, introduction, and a forward. Chapter 1 is outdoor fundamentals. So they're covering the 10 essentials: clothing systems, equipment, fire, food, water, travel, and hygiene. Chapter 2 is emergency prevention and response. So goes into leadership, which is an excellent subject matter for sure if you're working with groups. Safety, first aid, and rescue. Chapter 3, surviving your environment. So the psychology of survival, priorities, movement, navigation, and then even touching on SEER. And then we have Chapter 4, which is mindset and philosophy. The failures, PMA, which is something I talk about a lot, positive mental attitude. It's something I learned in search and rescue. PMA is such an important factor in survival and just being outdoors and working outdoors. And then embrace the suck, which is a very interesting chapter in this book. And then we have Chapter 5, putting it all together, why all this matters. And then at the end, he has a checklist and diagrams and forms. So there is these are very tactical military style forms and reports, but they apply to some of the stuff that you could be doing. So there's a TCC card, IFAC list, personal equipment sample checklist, patrol kit sample checklist, ration kit supply list, combat service supply salute reports, set rep formats, obstacle reports, a SEER, and radio information. So if all this kind of stuff interests you and you don't know where to start, you don't know where to go, I would highly recommend picking up a copy of this. So another thing I wanted to talk about Jay personally is with his channel, The Modern Minuteman, he really has been taking the time to chronicle his evolution into this whole Minuteman preparedness survival field. He takes the time to show you his training, and that's what I think sets him apart, is that he does the training quite a bit. He is out in the field all the time trying these things that other people are showing, and he's showing you his failures and his successes. Work and don't work. He tries a lot of different gear. He spotlights that, gives you a review of it, so you don't go out and waste your money on it. But the key factor for him is that he is actually out in the woods, patrolling property with a backpack, with his rifle, and he's training, and he's trying this stuff out. He's spending a night out in a poncho hooch. He's eating MREs. He's doing all these things that, all of us need to do more of. I know I do. And he really inspires me to get out there and do it. And it's so fantastic that he's taken the time to write a book and put some of that knowledge that he's been learning over this past few years doing this stuff and sharing it with everybody. So now you've got a guide to get you started, and I think that's really important. There will be a link down below to the Professional Citizen Project. Check out their website, check out their other guides, check out some of the gear that they sell. Purchase a book and support them, support Jay. I'm also going to have a link to his YouTube channel. Please go to his YouTube channel, subscribe, check out his videos. His stuff is cool. He has a lot of cool things. You will learn a lot, and he's a fantastic guy. And just to kind of tease a little bit about 2024, Jay and I have been talking. We are going to try and hook up in 2024 and do some videos together, maybe do some interviews, but also do some training together. And he's going to show me his gear and his training area and walk me through some of the stuff that he's doing. And then hopefully we can kind of learn together. So it's going to be a fantastic partnership, I think, in the future. Really excited about that and getting to meet Jay face to face. He is an outstanding individual, a father, husband, a leader, and he has done a lot for the prepper Minuteman survival community, and he deserves a round of applause, and he deserves your support, and he's got mine. So check out his new book, and we will see you next time on The Prepared Wanderer. Thanks for watching.
And run the cable through to a chest mic, and which we'll get to how we interface that with the helmet here in a couple of minutes. But what's next? Oh, we need a bang stick. All right, so rifle. So we got pistol, right? We have our pistol, and then we have our rifle.